I don't care about you. I mean, I don't know who you are, and maybe you're someone I spend a lot of time with, but even if you are, I don't care about you. And I know that sounds awful, okay, but hear me out first, okay? In the world of psychology, there's this idea called theory of mind. It's basically the realization that you aren't the only person with a brain. Everyone else around you also has their own beliefs, emotions, and perspective on the world that is completely different to yours. People figure this out when they're about 4 years old and quickly internalize the idea, but for some reason, we don't often make the next logical realization. The realization that you're the main character of your own life, but no one else's. Ever since the day we're born, we see ourselves at the center of the universe. We don't have any experience outside of our own, and for all intents and purposes, the world effectively revolves around us. Everyone has this feeling that their life is a show, and that they're the star. It's this feeling, this ego, that gives people the energy to go on to do great things with their lives. It's what gives us star athletes, comedians, and generally successful people. Ego and greatness so often go hand in hand. But this feeling can go a little bit too far, can end up a bit out of whack, so let's dig a little deeper. Your ego isn't always your friend. For a good while, I really hated public speaking. I was terrified of embarrassing myself, stuttering over my words, and I generally couldn't deal with the idea that people were looking at me. Speaking more generally, social anxiety is literally the idea that people care about you more than they do. That they think you're embarrassing yourself, that they're watching you all the time, or just generally that you're being judged. It's your ego convincing itself that it's more important than it is, that you're at the center of everyone's universe, not just your own, that everyone else is a normal person and you're not, and it's just a matter of time until you get found out. And it can be completely debilitating. And so even if I don't suffer from anything as serious as social anxiety, I can definitely relate to a lighter version of this feeling. And so I think it's important to remind yourself, nobody cares about you, at least to nowhere near the extent that they care about themselves. There may be people who are interested in how you feel and genuinely mean it, but beyond that, everyone is living in their own little bubble with the metaphorical spotlight shining on themselves. People are far more interested in the minutiae of their own lives than the most important thing going on in anyone else's. I guarantee you've spent more time wondering how to sign off an email than you have thinking about whether your friend made the right career move by going into medicine instead of engineering. No one thinks that you or I are as special as we think we are. No one thinks anything about us at all. And I think it's really liberating. You might not be center stage in anyone else's life, but you are in yours, and that life matters to you, even if no one else is watching. You decide the standards, and you decide what matters in the end. Don't let your ego stop you from doing the things you want, because really, what's the point of being alive if you aren't doing exactly that? Nobody cares, but nobody has to care. The only person that needs to be invested in your success or excited about the things happening to you is you. You care.